It's a very good question. Why terrorist incidents have surged to the tune of 45% more than the last year? Well, the answer is very simple. We all know Indo-Pak standoff and the kind of humiliation India suffered, and there were several defense analysts that had clearly predicted and prognosticated greater involvement with more virulence of the Indian covert apparatus in Pakistan, especially in Balochistan. And Indians, including their National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, made no bones about that. They have exactly done the same. They have redoubled their efforts after Operation Sindoor, and now we have seen a spike in the terrorist incidents. The BLA, BLF and those entities that are gaining nourishment out of the foreign linkages, the steady stream of financial support, arms, motivation, and including their conceptual organization and handling. So all those things are being managed externally. So it's a externally inspired, supported wave of terrorism, and we should have no confusion and or ambivalence on that score. Now, another relevant question could be that why is this not being countered very well or effectively, and why are we having so many casualties? The answer lies in the nature of the war, the geography. You should understand that it's very easy for those terrorist entities to come and raid and create, as they say, propaganda by deed, because they wish to propagate their acts. And it's easy, the geography lends itself to those isolated operations. And Pakistan, the government is treating this menace very seriously. Our armed forces are in the front of center, Frontier Corps and armed forces, they are fully geared to fight this menace. But the casualty ratio is on the rise because one, that a fight is being taken to its bitter end, and once you fight a menace, there are casualties. You have to take those casualties sometimes, and those could be definitely minimized by using better technology, better protective means, better intelligence. But remember that this is a dirty war, and in this kind of grey zone warfare, casualties are expected. So this is a price we are paying, but it is price worth its investment. And I'm sure that with sustained efforts, what is needed, what is more important is that the right strategy is used, and right strategy is used consistently. And that strategy is that the battle should be taken to the basis and to disrupt these terrorists before they could organize themselves or mount attacks. So I think in days to come, we'll all be seeing a shift in this strategy, and already the shift is evident on ground. So many casualties of these terrorist entities, especially in those rugged areas close to Pak-Afghan border also, Pak-Iran border also. So those are telltale signs that how strongly our armed forces are tackling this menace. Right. This question is also very interesting, that why can't Balochistan have an operation like that happened in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province? You see, there's a world of difference between two environments. In Balochistan, the ratio of terrorists to space, so that is quite diluted. And if you go for those operations, those would be very high expenditure operations in terms of effort, and tantamount to killing a fly with a hammer without results sometimes. So this is a very difficult nature of threat in Balochistan. There are terrorist entities that can merge in vast expanses. They have the liberty of action to merge with the population. They have external support, and if you launch large scale operations, you have to depopulate areas, you have to disturb the living ecosystem, and the population, which is already quite restive and economically deprived, would not take kindly to that. So the state is very careful. Most important part is the efficacy. Even that large scale operation is not going to yield the desired results. We had these large scale operations in 73. Once the entire tribes like Murray tribe and others, they had taken to the mountains and they were waging active insurgency. That kind of environment is no longer prevailing. It's a difficult kind of war, different kind of war, in which there are non-state actors as well as the local inhabitants that are recruited to their cause. They are given refuge from across the border. And we all know that India was running a full-fledged destabilization and terrorist operation from Chabahar. There was a raw station there. Kulbhushan Yadav was operating from there, and his testimony is a clear telltale sign of Indian involvement. Similarly, Pak-Afghan frontier is also porous. Unfortunately, despite our best efforts, Afghan interim government has not been able to rein in this cross-border movement. So that is also an enabler. And the best approach is to go for intelligence-based operations, find spaces, vulnerable spaces within these terrorist entities. In the past also, in 2009-10, a template was used which can be replicated, and that was the use of the Baloch segments which are patriotic, which do not see eye to eye with the ideology of these terrorists. So within those factions could be broken and used against the terrorists. So we have to be using smart tactics, intelligence-based operations, use of technology. We need to equip our forces operating in these difficult areas with equipment like, for example, BTR, track infantry fighting vehicles, which are light also, which can move cross country very swiftly, so that while our troops are moving in pursuit of terrorists, they go protected. Then we have to ensure surveillance through drones, through better intelligence gathering means. A combination of technical and human intelligence has to yield the right targets, and those targets have to be engaged with precision and effectiveness without large scale deployments or mass movements. So demassification, smart use of technology, better intelligence, and intelligence led and government supported. So that is the recipe of success. Counter-terrorism operations in Balochistan in this environment in which there are too many foreign entities fishing in troubled waters is not a simple thing. Like we say that in modern medicine, you cannot eliminate all the diseases despite the best technology and best medicine. So similarly, you may not be able to eliminate this scourge of terrorism altogether, but you can manage it. Why? Because there is a steady stream of support for them internationally also and amongst our regional actors. Till the time that ecosystem is not resolved, we have to ensure that at least we squeeze the space through very precise operations using the best technology and at the same time taking the battle to the enemy and using their own locals who know the terrain, who know the sociology, and who have the first-hand knowledge of how the terrorist entities operate in the guise of normal population. Nationalists and now the youth have less confidence in the government. Well, this statement cannot be fully accepted on its face value, because there's so much the government is doing, and there are vested interests on their interests are being compromised because of the government's steps, so they'll always be resentful. Having been mindful of that, if the government provides the public goods equitably, honestly, gives jobs on merit, ensures education and health facilities, I'm sure the young lot and the rest of the population would be won over very easily.